It was a great panel with great discussions, and three really important points I think to pick up on is one, that adaptation is not only related to exposure and how the climate will change, but also on how human systems will develop in the future that define your exposure to these risks and these hazards, and that define your vulnerability, and that it's really important to take these into account as well in vulnerability pathways, adaptation pathways into the future, also in financial decision making. Another hopeful point actually came from the colleague of UNFCCC saying they want to invest now in transformative capacity development, which is helping countries to develop basically the capacity to implement the changes that are needed for both mitigation and adaptation. This really came out of the work also that we did with the Engage project coordinated by IIASA, about how important it is to have the capacity, the institutional capacity in countries to deal with climate change, and it's really great to see the plans to invest in that. And then finally, one big point I think that everyone is struggling with in this domain is that how do you make climate information public and show these maps of where hazards are biggest without giving the implicit signal to investors to not invest in certain countries because it's too risky. We have to find a way around that in order to avoid that certain countries are going to be left out of development simply because the climate hazards are too high and too risky in their areas. But no one has a really good answer to that yet. So that's a really important nut to crack in the future.